Hello, I'm going to do the Capricorn energy reading, and this may or may not resonate with you. If it does, take the parts that do resonate. If it does not, leave the parts that do not resonate, as those may be meant for someone else. All right, we're going to get our Psychic Tarot for the Heart Oracle deck and look at what you may possibly be struggling with, what you may need to look at, and possible future energies. So we have what you may be struggling with is the Four of Swords, and that's just breathe. Oops. All right, I'm going to turn that over. All right, what you may need to look at. Coming together, the Two of Cups. Possible future energies is the Two of Pentacles, and find balance. And overall energy is number 10, flow, which is the Wheel. I feel like you just had a disagreement with somebody that's important to you, and you're having trouble. You know how when you feel like you just got hit by a ton of bricks, and you're like, okay, just breathe, just breathe, just breathe. I'm trying to get through this. I'm trying to work through this. I'm trying to figure out, okay, how do I get past this situation? And you're feeling trapped, and you're feeling like you're kind of backed up against a wall, and you're like, okay, what do I do? Where do I go from here? I feel like there's something that just happened. I feel like sometimes we get in defensive mode and then we fight back, and it's like, okay, let me take a step back and let me just breathe and let me figure this out. And how can we come back together, right? The Two of Cups. How can we work this out? How can we figure this out? And then it's about finding that balance within that relationship so that you don't get yourself in this situation again. And how can things flow easily, right? I feel like there's a lot of tension or a lot of stress or dissension between you and this other person. And I don't know if this has to do with somebody at work, or this has to do with work, or it has to do with a friend or a family member or a partnership. But there's someone that there's a lot of friction with. There's someone that there's a lot of conflict with. And it's, how do I work this out so that there's that balance to where it's not always affecting you as much. Sometimes, because it's almost like if it has to do with a workspace, it's like, who wants to go to work if there's that person, right? That person that brings us stress or anxiety. All right. Just breathe. Page of Pentacles, trying to find the good in a situation. All right, feeling like you're stuck, feeling scattered, right? Yeah, feeling scattered with the Five of Wands, right? Feeling scattered. I don't know, where do I go? What do I do? How do I move on from here? Feeling kind of stuck. I feel like that goes there. Emotions, lots of emotions. All right, so let's look at this coming together. All right, Ace of Cups. So we have the Two of Cups, the Ace of Cups, the Judgment. Eight of Pentacles. So what you need to look at is the Ace of Cups, the relationship, right? Judgment, awakening, renewal, revival. How, looking at, sometimes it's like, we wonder, like, why did this happen? But I almost feel like it's pursuing something new. It either has to be something, a new way to see things within this relationship, but is it opening your eyes to see that, okay, this situation really isn't good for me, and I've tolerated this long enough, and how do I move on from this? Or seeing how much this situation is really affecting you. Or seeing how much do I really want to work on this relationship, but in order to stay in this relationship, things have to be changed. That there has to be this balance. There has to be some change within this relationship. Think about it. Looking within to find the answers, Hermit, Virgo, and what's the solution? I feel like you've just been sort of tolerating a situation and you've just been sort of dealing with it, but I almost feel like that what you need, I feel like there's something that you have to look at and you have to see, but you have to decide within, is this something that I want to continue, or is it something that I want to move on from? Part of me feels like when I saw this, I feel like you want to pursue something new and you want to pursue something different. That you want some changes, that if you stay in the relationship, something has to change. But I kind of feel like part of you wants to move on. For some reason, I'm feeling that. Bottom of the deck, we have the Star, which is Aquarius. What gives you that hope? What is that direction? What is that guidance? I feel like the Hermit is a big one, looking within to find those answers on that path, right? I feel like you're not realizing, you're not looking at something. Something's trying to be brought to the light for you. Something with a relationship. Queen of Swords again. So we had Queen of Swords over there and we have Queen of Swords over here with this new deck. Finding the solution so that you can be like that peacock and spread your beautiful feathers and shine. You're not shining. I feel like you're feeling dull. Sometimes we feel like that. But I feel like you want to shine. Like you want to find that happiness. One day at a time, right? The Ten of Pentacles. I love that card because it's one day at a time, one situation at a time, one moment at a time. But I feel like maybe the solution is too big and you're looking at the big picture, but maybe you need to break it down to smaller bits that you feel you can handle. So if it's a relationship that you're having trouble with, you're having struggles with, right? That you're feeling overwhelmed by a situation, looking within and saying, do I want to continue with this relationship? Do I want to continue with this situation? Do I want to continue with this job? Do I want to continue in this energy, or do I want to move on? Right? That's the first part, breaking it down. How do I feel about it? What do I feel I can contribute? What do I feel I can work on? What are the solutions, right? How do I, if I want change, how do I do that? What do I need to look at? What do I need to break it down to? Is there a conversation that I have to have with somebody to work through something? Do I need to start looking for a new job? Do I need to go back to school? What information can I gather to help me to make the changes? Are there people that I have to talk to? Are there, things that I have to learn? What's the next step? It's almost like, do I have to just take a piece of paper and just write all these ideas and thoughts down to get them out of my head so I can see them, right? So that I can process them better, however you process things. Sometimes we have so many things jumbled up in our head that it becomes overwhelming that we don't want to do anything, right? Looking at the negative, looking at the positive, looking at the good, looking at the bad, that's exactly what I was just talking about, is getting more information within ourselves, our feelings, what we want to do, and weighing them out, right? Because you're not ready to make a decision because you don't have enough information for this change. Because these two cards here are the wheel, right? The wheel and the wheel. There's change, there's change. Wanting change. Things are changing. You're changing. Maybe something that was acceptable to you in the past is no longer acceptable to you. But I just feel like the Judgment card is the main card here. There's something that the universe is trying to show you. Moving on from a situation, feeling emotionally better, finding that happiness, finding those solutions, right? But then taking actions to make them happen. What are you worrying about, right? There's some stress and anxiety around you. There's some, are you worrying about things that you can't control? Because if you're worrying about those things that you can't control, then you're just adding more to your plate. Because it's like, well, worrying about it isn't going to change anything. But what are those things that I can do to change it so that I worry less? We have the Three of Cups. Look at that. Celebration, happiness, strength card. Finding your power, finding your strength, your confidence. Bottom of the deck. Six of Pentacles, sharing, balance. Find balance, flow. Flow, find balance, balance. Is there a relationship that you feel is more one-sided that you have to work on, right? That coming together, that Two of Cups, especially with the Ace of Cups and the Two of Cups there. Is there a relationship that needs to be worked on? All right, fortune reading card. Mountain. Know that you are protected as you face challenges, but remain cautious. Yeah, there's some challenges here for you, right? There's some challenges here for you, but it's facing the challenges so that things flow better, so that you can embrace this wheel energy. You can embrace that change and you can feel better about things. You can embrace this Three of Cups. You can embrace your strength and your confidence that you have. Right? All right, let's grab. There's always going to be challenges, right? There's always going to be swords in the water. There's always going to have to be things that you can navigate. But if you have that confidence within yourself that, okay, no matter what comes towards me, I can handle it. Oh, look at that. I love it. Strength. Strength again. That's what I was feeling as I was shuffling the cards, is that strength, that lion, the tiger. Sometimes we don't know our own strength, right? But it's coming into that strength and that power. All right, Animal Oracle. Armadillo, set healthy boundaries. That's very important. Sometimes we have to set those healthy boundaries with those situations or those people that we feel drain us, that weaken us, that affect us in a negative way. Sometimes we have those people that are in our lives and we're like, wow, I just can't be in that person's energy. Sometimes you have to set those healthy boundaries that work for you. And if they don't understand that, then that kind of gives you that answer as if they really care for you, if they're really looking out for you. Because if they get angry with that, then that makes you think, well, does that person really want the best for me, or are they just thinking about themselves? And setting healthy boundaries for yourself, right? So that you're looking out for your own health, right? That sometimes that can be challenges. Maybe we're just like, oh, I just don't want to set those boundaries because then that's going to create a whole can of worms. But then it's at the detriment of ourselves, and you have to look at, okay, do I want it to be like that anymore, or do I have to make some changes and I have to set some healthy boundaries? Whatever that may represent for you. All right, thank you so much for watching. As always, stay positive, stay safe, and I will see you next time.